So, Antonio, can you still see the Cowboys winning the NFC East?
I do. I still feel like they can still win the NFC East. I think this division is going to remind everybody of the 2010 NFC West, when I think it was it the
Seattle.
Rams or somebody made it, Seattle made it at 7-9 or something like that. So I think this is going to be that year for the NFC East. But I do see Dallas taking it. I think they still have all the talent in the world. I think they still have a better quarterback in the division with Andy Dalton at the Rams and everything now. Better than Carson Wentz, better than what they have in New York. And I mean, it's just a point of just understanding that they got to just go out and go win the ball. Ezekiel can't have another game the way that he just had this past Monday and go out there and fumble the ball 2 or 3 times. They just got to pick it up. Defense got to play better. Secondary definitely has to play better because from what I'm seeing, it's bombs over Baghdad over there anytime somebody go past 15 yards. So, and they're not tackling well. There's a lot of people that's out of position on the defense side of the ball also. But I still got Dallas winning division. I see 7-9, 8-8.
He just said Andy Dalton is better than Carson Wentz.
Well, I would disagree with them on that, but
not me.
I think the thing is, for me, Dallas should run away with this division. You look at the Eagles, and you talk about the Cowboys being injured, but you got the Eagles. All 3 of their offensive linemen are out. Now, D-Jack comes back, but Jalen Reagor and Alshon are both out for tonight. Then they might be back in a few weeks. Both tight end, Goddard and Ertz, are out. Sanders is out. What? And you mean to tell me with those, he still has Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, he still has Zeke, he still has, what's the other guy, Pollard. He still got Pollard, and you're talking about they're only going to go 7-9, 8-8? With that talent and the best quarterback in that division, they shouldn't lose another game.
Wait a second. Who do I have left in my offensive line? I'll take your line over my line. I'll trade you right now.
Okay, I'll trade you line. You give me them skill position. You give me those skill position players. But I look, I'm still taking the Eagles because I still believe that Walker Torm is still the best quarterback. Now that's not look. And I said if you force me to, Andy Dalton is probably the best quarterback in this division. That wasn't an endorsement of Andy Dalton. That was an indictment of the NFC East and the quarterback play. But the one thing I can say about Carson Wentz, he's fighting his tail off given the circumstances. He just played arguably 2 of the 3 best teams or 2 of the top 4 teams in the AFC, the Steelers and the Ravens. And even with all that, the hodgepodge of players that's in and out of the lineup, he's giving it his all. One of these days they're going to break through. Now, they're going to break through tonight. They're going to get the Giants tonight. And then the first, they got something for your guys. You.
Andy Dalton is better than Carson Wentz. You even admitted it publicly.
He's not better than.
That's an indictment of Carson Wentz.
First of all, you and I both know we got the best redhead in the division.
Yeah?
Yep.
Who is that?
Walking to him.
He's redheaded?
Yeah, he's redheaded.
I think he's redheaded.
Yeah, he's redheaded. Yeah, he not like Andy Dalton. He's not a true all the way ginger.
Okay.
But it's close enough.
Okay, I got it. I am with Crow on this. The Cowboys should win the NFC East, and they will win it. I'm not sure I would go with Crows. They have all the talent in the world because they are very deficient in the secondary of talent, devoid maybe, and in the offensive line. But I still say, and I want Crow's response on this one, they have 6 players on defense, 7 if I include Sean Lee, who's supposed to be back. I don't know how much he'll play, but 7 players who have made Pro Bowls. That defense is so historically bad that it's on pace to allow the most points in the history of pro football. That means something is very wrong. I think it's the new coordinator, Mike Nolan. As I said yesterday, Jerry Jones should drop the mic, as in drop the mic on Mike Nolan. I don't think he's working at all. They have rejected whatever he's teaching or coaching. They have mutinied against him. We got anonymous quotes from players, I assume defensive players, saying they can't teach, they can't prepare. So to me, it's so wrong. There's still all the talent in the world in the front 7 because Jalen Smith and Wolf Hunter, Van Der Esch, they made the Pro Bowl last year. DeMarcus Lawrence made the Pro Bowl last year. Aldon Smith has been a revelation. He has come back to Pro Bowl life. And now they might even add Randy Gregory on Sunday, who had 6 sacks in 2018. He can fly off the edge. So, Crow, give me your thoughts. Why isn't the system connecting with the talent?
Man, you got a guy that hasn't been a part of the game for 7 years. I think his last job was 2013.
14, yeah.
14.
In Atlanta.
So he's been away from the game for 6 years. And then you got to think, these guys are not the system that he's trying to run. I don't think it's letting the guys do exactly what they want to do. I mean, you look on the back end, there's so much confusion going on the back end that the communication still isn't there. And I can see why some players are coming out and saying some things, anonymous tips, or though somebody's coming out and saying some things. But you can tell that the communication, the swagger that it was actually playing with on defense the last couple of years is not there. It just seems like there's no rush into buying into what Mike Nolan is trying to do because they don't trust him. They don't believe in his system. They don't believe in any of that. When you got guys that don't do that at this level, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
and like you say, you're only as good as your what. You can't say they had 7 Pro Bowlers. They're not playing like it this year.
Yeah, and by the way,
I think
go ahead.
Bruce always said this. Bruce Arians always said this. Your 5-star players got to play like your 5-star players.
Yeah,
and they're not doing that week in and week out.
Okay, so you realize the last time Mike Nolan was a defensive coordinator was 12, 13, and 14 in Atlanta, and that last year they gave up the most yards in the whole league. The Falcons did. So what are your credentials that you just got hired as the Cowboys DC?
Because you're Mike McCarthy's best friend.
That is
Crow,
correct.
let me ask you a question.
Thank you.
Crow, let me ask you a question. You're in quarters.
Mm-hmm.
The wide receiver goes to crack the safety that's in a walk position. Tell me what you're doing as a corner right now.
You got to climb high. You have to climb high because you don't know if he's going to crack anyway. Because if he doesn't crack,
you're on the 5-yard line.
Oh, we got to go now. You got to go.
Watch that touchdown. Watch that touchdown to Christian Kirk. And you tell me what the corner's doing. I tell people all the time, if you make a tackle in the end zone, it's still a touchdown. You don't get credit for a tackle in the end zone. No. That's the thing. They run the coverage, Christian Kirk run the seam. They ain't cover one. They got curled. They got the DB is up. Now, he got hooked. He got curled flat. You got the deep third. You see the safety, go to the middle of the field. You see the backside corner, go to the deep third. Oh, it's 3/3 to make a hole, not 2/3. So one guy is not doing his responsibility. It's hard for me to believe that Mike Nolan and the DB did not cover that with him. Guys are not doing their responsibility. Look at the Patriots. The Patriots never really have talent in the secondary other than one guy. They had Revis. I'm talking about extremely talented. They had Gilmore. But for the most part, they got mix and match pieces. But everybody is where they're supposed to be. If you got hook flat, take it. If you got the curl, take it. If you got deep middle, deep third, take it. These guys are bull jiving, Crow. You let them off the hook. Them guys out there freelancing, doing what they want to do. It's hard for me to see a scenario. On the play that Kenyon Drake hit his head on the goalpost, you got two linebackers and a safety. Somebody got to hit the A-gap. Ain't nobody hit the A-gap.
Everybody standing around watching. Now, I'll give you that. That especially on that Christian Kirk touchdown. The 80-yard touchdown, I don't know what the corner's doing. His eye was in the backfield the whole time, and then he stopped his feet.
Yes.
So that's on the play. But you got to think about this too, though, Shannon. When you playing these games, we get a game scheme just like everybody else on the thing. We got our game scheme. We know what we're supposed to run. Like you said, how many guys are really studying? How many guys are understanding their job? How many guys are understanding their job clearly? Because at the end of the day, I done been around some coaches that are explaining something, and you be looking at him crazy. Like, no, you can't play this like this. How you gonna play it like this? I've been a part of that, but by me being and having me, Revis, and other guys being around in the organization and being playing for a long time together, it was easy for us to make adjustments on the field without the coaches saying anything to us at all. You got a bunch of young guys that trying to do something that a coach is telling them to do, and but their playing is also how it's being taught too. We don't know how everything is being taught to them and what's being told to them on certain things. So we can't sit here and say certain things are happening with the players and some things are happening with the coaches, because I think it's a two-way street on both sides.
Crow, let me ask you a question. As a defense, how did you guys meet? Was it all of you guys D-line, linebackers, and DBs, or did you? Because when we met, the way we met, is that wide receivers, running backs, and the quarterback, so we hear the same language. We hear this. I knew what Ed was. I knew what Rod was. I knew what TD have. They knew what I was supposed to do. So is that how you guys did it?
Oh, I mean, you got to think that Wednesday meeting is the most important meeting of it all, because that's when we're all together. That's when you break down the film. But the thing that Rex used to do, and also Todd Bowles used to do, he used to question the guys, the front seven, on what the secondary has. So they know exactly what everybody's job is. And it made it a lot easier. That was our Wednesday thing. On Fridays, we sat down and watched the first 35 plays of the first 3 games for that week, just because we wanted to make sure we got the calls right. We wanted to make sure that we basically played the game on Friday after that short practice. So we come in at 12:30, 1 o'clock for an hour and a half and watch that film, go over the first 35 plays, and then, we make sure that any question that needs to be answered, we answer them right then and there. But we don't have no miscommunication, so we don't have those mistakes that we was falling into. So it's like, as a defense, you have to meet as a whole. You have to play the game as a whole. The linebackers have to make the calls in the meeting room where everybody being there, for everybody can be in their gaps where they're supposed to be, and the secondary is supposed to see the same thing that they're supposed to see. If you don't have that and the guys are not taking initiative to that, then this is all on the players at the end of the day. That's not the coaches. That's the players, because this is your job. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're paid to go out and go do. So how can I be the best at my job if I'm only going to give you 30% of what I'm supposed to give you?
Okay, let's go back to your Andy Dalton assessment. Why would you call him the best quarterback in the NFC East? What do you see from him at this stage, at 31 years of age, that would make him the best?
I just think he has more experience at the position and being playing in these games. Carson Wentz has been hurt every single year, hasn't really had a full year. He's very injury prone. And you can see that week in and week out. His body is taking a toll because of the beating. He's trying to go out and go play 100%. Andy Dalton he can go out there and go do it. I believe he can. He has weapons around. I think he has a lot more weapons than he had with him when he was in Cincy. You had Amari Cooper, you had Gallup, you had CeeDee Lamb, you had Zeke, you had Pollard. You add those guys in that offense. That's one of the best offenses he's had since, before while he was in Cincy too.
By the way, did you play against Andy Dalton? I assume you did somewhere.
Yeah, I did. Andy got me, him and AJ Green, 2013.
Really?
Double move,
I gave up, I think, 98 or 101 to AJ Green.
Woo.
But no touchdown.
Woo.
Yeah, you said it. I would have never told that one.
Listen. Hey, I'm done playing.
See, that's why he's giving it up to Andy now.
Listen, I don't have to go out there and go cover these receivers no more. I can get my tip and my points, and I can be done with it.
Well, walking to him is the best quarterback in that division, and that's why they're going to win this division. And there you have it.
Yeah, he walks better than he throws.
But I told you last year walking to him was the best in that division. And he won the division with 4 games to play. We 3 games down, and we walked him down.
Impressive. So, Crow, last question. Ezekiel Elliott, what do you see now? Because I'm not seeing enough.
I think when you look at the Monday night game, I think he was trying to do too much. I just think he's trying to put everything on his shoulders rather just being Zeke. And that's just the standpoint of his quarterback is going down. I got to do a lot more. I got to do this. I got to try to do this. No, man, just do what you're supposed to do. Catch the ball out of the backfield, make plays, and then give your quarterback a safety net every single time. You be that guy that he can depend on. Don't try to do too much, And I just think that's what he was doing. He was trying to do too much on that Monday night, and everything just hit the fan for him. Yeah. I think this coming week is going to be a lot better. I think Ezekiel's going to have a better game plan. His mind's going to be where it needs to be. You got to think, man, when you lose your quarterback and one of your best friends for the whole entire year, the guy that you can depend on, man, it takes a toll on you mentally. So he just got to regroup, get back into it, and just go back and go play football the best way you know how. That's the same thing with the receivers. Can't get frustrated. Got to stick to the game plan and trust the process.
Hey,
I agree.
Washington spent a lot of money on that front seven. I'm looking forward to eat on Sunday. I'm looking for that front seven.
Well, wait a second. Maybe Zeke's primary responsibility on Sunday will be to block blitzers, right?
Well, Chase Young and Ryan Kerrigan going to be coming. And Big Jonathan Allen, they're going to be Cubby Skip.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.